Algiers man says he had to leave his own home yesterday because he had no AC, and he says he and his neighbors in English Turn have lost power 3 times over the last couple of weeks, and they've had enough. Eleanor Tabone sat down with a resident who says he's frustrated that they're dealing with so many outages and a storm hasn't even hit.
I have been extremely concerned about the power outages in English Turn.
Dr. Billy Hawkins moved to English Turn 2 years ago.
Storm season just started. We've had no storms, but in English Turn, we've had approximately 3 power outages.
Most recently, he says his neighbourhood lost power 3 times in the last few weeks. He says Sunday night they lost power for 9 hours. Without AC, he had to find a cool spot to wait out the outage.
It was very frustrating, and so we ended up, leaving home and going to sit at Applebee's for about 4 or 5 hours.
Margot Fanning with English Turn Property Owners Association has been tracking the outages.
The length of time has been anywhere from a half an hour to last night's, which was almost 9 hours.
She says those in Algiers have had enough.
It's extremely frustrating if you're trying to do anything, not as only hot, like if you've got laundry to do or you're going to be cooking.
Both Margot and Dr. Hawkins are asking why they're losing power when there hasn't been any bad weather.
But if it's just a clear sunny day and in the middle of the afternoon and your power services go down and you really don't have any explanation, it's troublesome.
Entergy New Orleans says Sunday's outage is due to 2 AT&T poles coming down. City Councilman JP Morrell tweeted the poles came down because they rotted out. Entergy New Orleans says they don't own the poles that came down, but they use them.
We don't own all the poles in the city. There's about 96,000 poles. We own about 45,000 of them. So if there's a pole, we have an attachment agreement so that we can use their poles and they can use ours. Our facilities were attached to the poles that fell, which is what caused the outage.
Nika Scott with the energy company says the outages English Turn residents have experienced recently have been out of their control.
The other 2 go back to May. One was a lightning strike, which unfortunately we can't control the weather. And the first one was just a load issue at our Lower Coast substation. It had a fire back in January.
Residents, however, just want assurances that they'll have power this storm season. Eleanor Tabone, WWL, Louisiana.
An AT&T spokesperson said residents can report any issues with poles by calling this number that's on your screen right now. And they added, quote, the fallen poles were replaced yesterday. We regularly inspect and replace utility poles as needed.